You know, I was saying that we just did an exhibition, very large exhibition in China, in the Museum of Peking and the Museum of Shanghai. And then I was very touched and very moved that the Chinese were looking with such interest to the works, you know. Because a Colombian artist from a completely different culture, and then I come to China, and then I see the excitement of people looking at the space that reflects Medellin, my hometown, my little country, this and that. Then in a way, this is fantastic to be able to be.
It's totally local, it's totally tropical, it reflects the reality, again, of the Colombia and the Medellin where my father grew up in. Here as well you can see some sculptures, and the sculptures that belong to the beginning of the exhibition. Sculpture came about as a step to take because of the three-dimensionality of his work. He worked for many years in sculpture. As a matter of fact, he stopped painting for a full year in order to learn the art of sculpting. And basically 10 years later, artists have over the centuries come to Pietrasanta to work, to carve, including Michelangelo that you see here. He has worked in many formats, small sculptures, medium-sized sculptures, which you see here, and also the monumental pieces, that, like the horse that's in the middle of the room. He has used the techniques of the great masters of the bronze, like here with the
called direct painting. They say you start painting, the moment the canvas is covered of color, then it's finished. Like the way that did Matisse or Picasso or Sagan or so many. You know, I use coats and coats of paint. That's why the paintings take a long time to finish. Because I do the idea of several times. Let's say it's like the equivalent, like doing writing. Let's say I am like editing a text, editing a painting. Let's say because the writer keeps the text someplace, and then 1 month later or later takes the text out and make correction. It's the same thing, you know. This the way the paintings were done up to the Impressionists, where this painting that goes slowly grow by coats and coats, and the other editing, changing, adding something, taking out something, making the more precise the drawing and more exact the tonalities of the color. Well, you know, this takes several months to complete. You know, that's why it's a little bit different by work of most works that are done today, that are done, as I said before, in direct painting. You know, just one coat, and that's the thing. There is some charm in this unfinished or sketchy way to do it. But you know, I prefer the effort of doing something and construct something in a kind of more solid way. You know. But this is the difference in technique, by technique, with most of the artists of today. Whatever you want, you know, because the most important thing is not the subject matter. The subject is a pretext to paint. You can take the most known painting, for example, the Mona Lisa. I did the Mona Lisa. I then transform in a way in which the painting at the end is a Botero. You know, you do it by admiration of the work of somebody. At the same time, you do it to get deeper into the painting and learn something, because once you get involved with the painting in that way, which you are actually doing a version, you understand a lot of things that you don't understand if you just look at the painting. That's why I was very fond of learning and doing something that was an homage and a lesson for me, and I did this. You know, there's a Velasquez there, the Van Eyck there. Well, you know, these things are versions of very well-known paintings, but at the end it's transformed through a style in a way that becomes my work, Botero.
and in contemporary art today, where the art of drawing has, for many artists, totally disappeared. He has given a great importance to a variety of techniques that he uses to draw. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about the variety of techniques that you use and the importance of drawing in your work.
It's true, very important, the drawing is the base of everything in painting. It's because what shows what you believe, what will be your position in the art. See, because what you do in a painting is doing a drawing and add the color. Well, this is the base of this is the identity of the artist. You say everything, 90% of a piece of art, work of art is this idea, the idea of a style is very important. You see, in drawings, of course, you do so many things that are complete. Even if they are small, they can be as monumental or as complete as a large painting. Because you can say so much in a little paper. You see, and then there are different techniques. For these are pencils, this is watercolor, this is done in a very special paper that is called amati, a paper that was used by the Aztecs in Mexico to do los códigos aztecas, and it's extremely beautiful, the paper. They done the skin of a tree. And then, of course, there are the watercolors. This is ink and watercolor, different things I did. The one red is bistre, pastel a little bit, pencil, but I work very, I have a lot of interest in the technique of drawing. It's as I said, you start doing a drawing, you take a piece of paper, and you start drawing, and then you are involved in the drawing, and this becomes for you like if you're doing a very large painting. Because you can say so much in a small piece of paper. And once the more you work, it becomes more enormous, it becomes huge. You see, it's something that, but you have to love the art of painting is one of the most beautiful and as important and as strong as the large paintings, I would say. Many things, even when you are, even in Goya there is something already of the circus. Okay, it's full of color, but the color is chaotic. What you have to do is organize this strong color in a way that they become harmonious. Because if the circus itself is violent, it's chaotic, and the artists have to take these strong colors and put them in a way that are harmonious. Then also there is the thing that everybody in the world is a universal subject. Everyone in the world has been in a circus when there was a child or whatever, and everybody loves the circus because it's so full of poetry. Especially when you know the way the people live that are nomads and the personality of these people, and this and that, and the space of the circle, the tenda, the tissue, whatever, all these things make it very, very attractive. See, and then there's a lot of poetry, a lot of color that you can use. As I said, doing an harmony, putting together strong colors is very important. There were full rains in every town, and unfortunately, I saw the many corridas, and everything was very part of the life of the city was the corrida. I did many paintings about the good life. The priest or the clero, that was something that fascinated me by the way they are dressed, the color that they use, the reds, and it's so much to do with the way people were dressed during the Renaissance. You see, that's what it was attractive to me. But I think okay.
what's important more than the subject matter is the style, because my father has always said that the simplest form in nature is the orange, but an orange painted by Picasso is totally different from an orange painted by Cézanne or by Velázquez or by Renoir or even by Botero. What's important more than the subject matter is the style in which it is painted. So what art should be, and which in the case of my father again is that exaltation of and this obsession with volume, the search for beauty and the sensuality in the forms through the exaltation of volume, which is apparent in these obviously still lifes that we have here. For example, the watermelon is such a simple form, let's say, of nature, just an oval, and yet there is the expression or the reflection.
There's also a lot of red, but it seems more that there's more pastel-like colors to recent times. Is that
Continuously. I mean, the first 6 months of the year they're doing something, the second 6 months of the year they're doing something totally different. And he is often asked, why do you not change your style? And his reflection of my deep convictions and my deep commitment to what I think art should be. So it's not something that you change like you change your dress or you change your shirt. But within that commitment, let's say, to one single direction, which is what he was talking about at the beginning of the press conference, there is a constant search. Artist and a great artist is that a good artist looks for solutions, a great artist looks for problems. So I have to say that when my father was around 22, reflection of my deep convictions and my deep commitment to what I think art should be. So it's not something that you change like you change your dress or you change your shirt. But within that commitment, let's say, to one single direction, which is what he was talking about at the beginning of the press conference, there is a constant search. Continuously. I mean, the first 6 months of the year they're doing something, the second 6 months of the year they're doing something totally different. And he is often asked, why do you not change your style? And this obsession with volume, the search for beauty and the sensuality in the forms through the exaltation of volume, which is apparent in these obviously still lives that we have here. For example, the watermelon is such a simple form, let's say, of nature, just an oval, and yet there is the expression or the reflection. What's important more than the subject matter is the style, because my father has always said that the simplest form in nature is the orange, but an orange painted by Picasso is totally different from an orange painted by Cézanne or by Velázquez or by Renoir or even by Botero.